What up, New York Giant Nation? It is your boy Mac, the Giants fan. And for the last time this season, this is the true blue aftermath.
You want to be great, you got to work at it, right?
What is going on out there, New York Giant Nation? It's your boy Mac, the Giants fan. What is good? What's going on, Daniel Barry? Nice to see you in the building, man. Much love, much appreciation, man. What up, Darnell? Thanks for stopping in, man. What's going on, Alex, man? I agree. I agree. Those two teams right there, to me, are their wild cards, Alex. I don't know what they could do. I mean, it wouldn't be out of the realm that both of those teams go after quarterbacks as well, man. So we're gonna have to see what happens, man. When we get to that pick, I would have been a lot more comfortable if the Giants would have went on ahead and lost that game a week ago and could have just had that number one pick secured. But here we are now. Got to settle for number four, and we'll have to see, man. It's a lot of a lot of. I don't know how I feel about this. This team, everything like and then you watch what this team did a week ago, and it's like you go out there and you put that effort on the field and you ruin your chance at the number one overall pick, just to come out here and get your ass handed to you by the Eagles backups today. it's it just doesn't make sense with the mindset of this football team. And then I listen to these commentators sit on TV and talk about, oh, the effort. The New York Giants never stop playing with effort. Never stop this. The fuck, get out of here with that shit. This team stopped playing with effort a long, long time ago. So you can spare me on that. Yeah, exactly. It's like you said, it's gonna haunt us, man, because that win was so unnecessary. And it's like you just had something you could have full control of was getting the number one overall pick, man. Winning a meaningless football game like that a week ago, it just ruined it for you. Honestly, from everything I'm hearing, Jay, thanks for stopping in. I'm just not sure, man. We may have to be dealing with Brian Daboll again coming next year. Him and Joe Shane both, man. I'm not. It doesn't look like from what things I'm hearing, early reports, he may have he may have a little bit of job security. I don't know what he's done to earn that. Honestly, with a season like this, but that's where we are right now. It's a lot of questions going into this off season, and we finally are into the off season with the New York Giants. Finally, it has been a long, long 2024 season, year 100 for the New York Giants, and it has been a miserable one, to say the least. And I couldn't wait to get to this. Couldn't wait to get to the off season. Usually, I mean, I never want football season to end, but this season, I wanted this season. I wanted this to be over weeks ago. What's going on, Miz? I mean, I don't know if the Patriots win. Does that have any effect on the Giants? Like, does that mean Giants move up to maybe number three? Maybe I'm not sure if they can jump ahead. I guess if the Patriots win that game, I'm not sure how that's all working out right now. But either way, I would have still felt a lot better. I'd have felt a lot better when we had that number one overall pick, man, secured. You know what I mean? They could have just maintained that and kept that, and then wouldn't have to worry about any of this at all. What other people are doing, control the stuff you can control. The Giants had control over that situation, and I mean, like, I get it. Players don't want to go out there. They're not going out there trying to lose, but at the same time, that's what they've been doing all season anyway. There's no point in winning now when it means nothing. Look, Shador, Cam Ward, one of them's coming here. Look, I'm all about it, man. I'm all about culture, a complete and new culture change. I don't care what it is, who it is, but a lot needs to change with this football team. It's just going forward. Not a lot of salvageable pieces as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, any to me, this is the one time I feel like this where everybody's expendable. Nobody's safe as far as in my eyes. I mean, we got to build this thing up the right way, man. Get it, and it starts with getting that franchise quarterback. Yeah, the Browns right now number one had the number one pick, I believe, right now. I'm not sure if Tennessee can jump in front of the Browns, Alex, but But right now, I'm pretty sure the Browns are holding on to number one overall pick right now, which is kind of a funny thing because coming into this season, people thought the Browns were going to be a good football team, and here we are. They're down here, right here with us, the New York Football Giants, the lowly Giants. But yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what I want to do. I want to somebody like I want to draft one of these young guys in the draft. I want to bring in a vet. You got to resculpt that quarterback room. That quarterback room is atrocious, and that's what needs to happen, man. You need to draft a guy and bring in a vet. And I saw something you had mentioned earlier in the chat earlier, Miz, in the Twitter chat, man. You were like, maybe even draft two quarterbacks. Look, I'm all for that too. If we're gonna spend two draft picks on a quarterback, one of the early guys, and get one of the guys a little bit later down the line, look, I'm about that too, man. Right now, that's how bad. I don't honestly. I really don't want to go on the next season and see any of these quarterbacks currently on the roster still on the roster because they don't. To me, that's not a winning formula. Those guys have shown you that they're not a winning recipe. So is Cleveland less likely to take a quarterback than Tennessee, but we'll see what happens when you don't pick a quarterback in 2024 and then you win meaningless games. Exactly, especially when you watch Michael Penix out there making the throws you see him out there making. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. You watching these guys do the stuff that these rookies perform the way they did. I'm gonna keep saying it. 2024, the Giants dropped the ball in April in 2024 because one of those quarterbacks should have definitely been on the New York Giants roster. And people can have their opinions and say, would it really matter? Dabo would have still screwed them up. The Giants would have still been ass. Yeah, we probably still would have been a bad football team. But we'd have been a bad football team, but perhaps the most important piece potentially in place. Like, look at the Patriots with Drake May. They know that's their guy. The season still didn't end up the way they want. They would have liked it to, obviously, but they still think they feel pretty confident they got their guy in Drake May. I mean, that guy proved he can play football in this league. I mean, that's just what it's all about, man. And you gotta start, and it starts there. They always talk about how important the quarterback position is, but now people are trying to talk themselves out of getting a quarterback. Or making it about how the lack of what these guys are isn't on. Well, guess what? The Giants back themselves into this corner. They back themselves into this corner, and you gotta get one of these guys, man. Gotta get one of these QBs. Look, I mean, I don't know what Howard's draft stock is going to be like when he comes out, but I've been pretty impressed with what I've seen from him, especially in his college playoffs, man, in his tournament. He's been definitely very impressive. And look, I wouldn't be mad at adding him to the roster either. I mean, this is another guy. I mean, Jackson Dart. Going to start looking deep into these guys a lot more this week. Upcoming week, I'm gonna start really looking more into these quarterbacks because this is where the Giants need to go. And since Shador and Cam aren't necessarily guaranteed necessarily to the Giants anymore, you got to start looking at some of these other guys, like I said, these Jackson Darts and how Will Howard and these guys are like of sort like that because those guys become a lot more of a reality as well in case things don't go the way that most Giant fans wanted to go and Giants can have their choice of Shador or Cam. I see Atlanta got another score on the board. Yep, I'm with you, G-Man. 2011, most losses ever in a season. Worst New York Giants season, I think, might be the worst season ever. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe one of those old back pre-Super Bowl era seasons, they were terrible like this too. I don't know because I don't go back that far, obviously, but this has just been bad all across the board. This to me, this is you can't defend bringing these guys back. I mean, to me, after a year like this, it just looks incompetent. And it looks irresponsible, in my opinion, to bring these guys back. So, what's going on, Kenneth? Thanks for stopping in, bro. I appreciate you, man. But yeah, okay, so Tennessee at one. Maybe it's because of the strength of schedule tiebreaker with them. But I knew they had once the Browns lost yesterday. you knew the Giants couldn't possibly jump in front of them by any means. So that was a wrap once the Browns had lost yesterday. You didn't knew that the Browns could not, that the Giants couldn't jump in front of them no matter what. Giants weren't getting number one overall pick. And right now we have to be content with number three, it looks like. So, I mean, I think it's still a very high draft pick, obviously. And the fact that the two teams in front of you aren't guaranteed to take quarterbacks, you might still have your choice of guys, man. Like I said, it's going to depend. We're going to have to see how things start to play out. Once the process starts, things move up and down, change, shit shuffles around. All of a sudden, somebody else might shoot up the damn draft board, and all of a sudden might jump in front of Shador and Cam Ward for all we know. Weird shit happens in the draft process. And right now, honestly, we don't really know what the Giants are thinking or where they want to go. So it's going to just be a kind of a wait and see process, man, with this football team. So now I think it kind of, as bad as the season has been, it gets to be kind of to the fun stuff for us fans as content creators, because at least now we can start looking towards the future. Yeah, I saw that list. I definitely saw that list. It's gonna be some it's gonna definitely be some tough games out there at home in particular next year. He said John Mayer is more about fair than smart. I have to agree. His decisions seem to indicate that, man. You ain't lying. His decision making as far as how he hires people, the way he goes about the hiring process, it just all feels that way. I mean, even if you go back in the off season, he felt so adamant about Saquon Barkley, but he left it in Joe Shane's hands. You know what I mean? Like you said, he's trying to be fair to the GM, let him do his job. But sometimes, as an owner, when you see something going down that you just kind of feel and know isn't the best for the franchise, you got to step in sometimes. And I think that's part of John Mayer's problem is he doesn't know when to step in. What's going on, Iman? Thanks for popping in, bro. Appreciate you, man. He doesn't know when to put his foot down and when not to put his foot down. You know what I mean? And this has just been, once again, like I said, a historically bad season. But it's been so historically bad to a point where, like I said, I think you got to really sit back and weigh the options and think, what is best? Like, is there really a reason to bring Brian Daboll, Joe Shane back and retain them? I mean, what would be the real reason for that? Like, I just don't. You just watched what everything that went played out from the start of this year all the way through out till just now and down to this last game. It's just been a mess. I mean, yeah, sure, we all wanted the Giants to lose. I did. I definitely did not want a victory here by no means. But then you just watch them go out there. Basically, our full complement of starters, I mean, to the best of our ability, at least, barring, you can't count the injured guys, people that weren't physically able to play. But to go out there and get your pretty much ass, I mean, people on the Eagles were scoring touchdowns I never even heard of. I never even heard of these guys that were out there scoring touchdowns on the Giants today. Guys making their first career scores. And it's just is unbelievable that this team has really fallen that far. And then the mental errors, if this were an important game, those kind of mental errors and shit like that, like jumping off sides when in situations where obviously the Eagles are just trying to draw you off sides and you're just giving them the satisfaction. I mean, you're just not a very smart football team, not a very good football team in any way, man. And got to burn it all down. I think that's the hard pill John Mara's got to swallow, man. He's got to understand that this has to be burnt all the way down. What's going on, Big Lou? What's going on with you, Lou? But yeah, they got to figure this out, man. It's going, like I said, they got to figure out their plan of action. Going to they got to figure out how to attack free agency. They got to figure out a way. Yeah, I can hear you. They got to figure out a way to try to attract free agents to make free agents even want to come here without necessarily overpaying them. Because I think they're kind of in a situation like that where they may have to legitimately just overpay guys to even get them to come here. Because who wants to be a part of this? Of this? You know what I mean? I don't know. What you got, Lou? What's your thoughts, Lou, going into the off season? Can you can you hear me? Everything good over there, Lou? With you? All right. Well,
Shit, dude.
well. On another note, Tampa Bay got their act together, and they will like they're gonna go on and clinch the NFC South and get that fourth seed in the NFC conference, and host either Minnesota or Detroit next week. So they ended up closing the deal, even though they made it a lot rougher than necessary on themselves, but they got the job done. So congratulations to the Bucks heading into the postseason, yet again winning the NFC South division. But as far as this Giant team is, once again, man, it's also a matter of starting to look. We all know about the quarterback situation and the fact that they need to upgrade that, obviously. But there's still obviously a lot of other holes on this football team, and you need to figure out what else needs to be priorities. And I mean, I think we have a definite priority in that secondary as well. Clearly, we need to upgrade in that secondary big time right now. You got to figure out what Tay Banks actually is. I mean, is he the guy we had our rookie season that his rookie season that looked like a potential star in the making, or is he a guy that came out there this year and just looked like a lost puppy dog most of the time, week in and week out? Still got to get a lot more depth and address the depth on this football team, man. It's just you can't be having situations where Andrew Thomas goes out and then the next best options are Joshua Azudu and some other guy that just signed up from the practice squad or whatever the hell. You can't have you got to have better depth than that on this football team. You got to address things, and it's just so much of a mess right now. It seems such a mess right now that I don't really know. I just don't know where they go from here. There's so many holes and so many things to plug in and fill. I just don't know what you really what we trying to what they need to what they trying to do what they need to do because there's so much stuff to look at, man, and there's so much to evaluate. Yeah, this team is an absolute dumpster fire right now. Sitting back watching the Bucks celebrate. I want to get back to those days with the New York Giants, man. I want to get back to days like that when we can see the Giants celebrating the division title. It's been far too long, man. Far too long for this football team. And it's just the fact that we don't really see, I don't see anything in sight. I don't see in the near future anything getting any better. Right now, I mean, we can draft some guys and we can try to make it look better, but let's face it, on the realistic aspect of things, we know things are going to still be pretty rough next year as well. But it starts with getting the foundation laid. It absolutely starts with getting the foundation laid. You just never know what getting the right guy can do for your football team. I mean, you just don't. I mean, you just don't. You can't let anything get in the way of it. Like the Falcons signed Kirk Cousins, and then they still go out there and they drafted Michael Penix. And now look, I mean, yeah, granted, they're out of it now. They're out of the playoffs. They officially have not officially been are out of the playoffs. But maybe if they made that move to Michael Penix a couple of weeks sooner than they did, maybe he could have did enough to save their season and got them that division title. And maybe a couple of those games that they lost, maybe they could have turned them into W's. So it's kind of look at this and it's like maybe you pulled the trigger on Michael Penix a little too late for the Falcons. I mean, it's just things like that that just show you that these quarterbacks, man, people try to say, oh, they're not more just a quarterback away. Go take more than a quarterback. It starts with the quarterback, though. That's where it starts. It starts right there. The guy is getting the guy there and putting the guy in place.
How about this? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Matt,
hear
can
you,
you
Lou.
hear me?
I can hear you, Lou. Can you hear me?
No, this is ridiculous.
No, you can't hear me. Must not be able to hear me. I don't even. Did I not
No,
notice his comment? But G man, you're welcome. Yeah, I can hear you, Lou.
yo,
But I appreciate you too, man, for coming through and supporting the channel, G man, all the time, man, week in and week out. I definitely appreciate your support as well, brother. Can you? I can hear you, Lou, but I guess you can't hear me. I'm
I'm gonna
assuming you
step
can't
out
hear
and
me.
try to come back. Maybe that'll work.
All right. Yeah, Lou experienced a few technical difficulties. He's gonna try to come back on. I'd like to hear his opinion, how he feel about this season coming to an end. This very very terrible year. Yeah, and it's been tough. I've been trying to sit out here and
This is bull crap. Bro.
can you hear me? You good?
I'm having technical difficulties, man. But we better get your door. That's all I know. If you can hear me, that's my point. We better get your door, and we better not win this damn game.
Oh well, the game's over, so they ain't win the game. The game is over. So, but right now, sitting at number three, like we had a number three overall pick, and I was like I was saying, that's like I said, it's still a high pick. It's not like put your head down. You got the number three pick. That's terrible. It looks kind of bad when you could have had the number one pick, but at the end of the day, when you got a couple of teams sitting in front of you that I don't think you have to worry too much about. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, you just never know. Plus, you also never know what kind of deals they could make, and you can get like a team like the Raiders, selling the farm and getting up in front of the John and getting up in front of you. That's the scary part about not securing the number one overall pick, is because now you don't know what kind of deals or offers the Tennessee Titans or the Browns will listen to and take and get and jump out of those spots and let somebody else jump right up in front of you and take the guys you want. And that's the position the Giants are in right now is that wait and see and kind of had to now wait and see and depend on other people when they could have just, like I said, lost that game to Indy last week and took care of their business. And it was just that simple. Like, it was just that simple. It's understanding the assignment. And the assignment wasn't to win unnecessary games. I mean, so nonetheless, here we are, man. And this is where we're at. What I will say is I appreciate y'all all tuning in and rocking with me all season
You hear me
on these
now?
aftermaths. They, yeah, I can hear you.
All right, I can hear you. Finally, shit.
I can hear. Oh, you can hear me now.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you before.
All right. Well, go ahead. Let me see what you got, man. What you talking about? How you feeling about Giants heading into this offseason?
Not feeling good with the current coach we got in place. Don't want to say too much and get us in trouble because apparently, Mara's reaching out to content creators nowadays. Uh, Instead of reaching out to coaches and GMs, they can fix this atrocity. Um, yeah, that's what our organization's owner is spending his time doing, instead of fixing this
Wow.
unsuccessful product that they've had on the field for 12 years now. Um, but God forbid you speak your piece and state stuff based on your observations and your knowledge of the game and the history and the trend and the trajectory that this team seems to be headed on. So gotta walk on eggshells because freedom of speech ain't free no more. But yeah, this team is in a very dark place, and hopefully, Mara and Tish can get together and figure out a way out of it. Um, because I don't trust Dable. It's clear that they sabotaged the season, um, just to get rid of DJ. Because you saw the playbook last week, what this team offensively looked like, compared to all season long prior. So I think he was trying to play last week to show people, hey, look, I can open up the playbook and I can produce some good plays, but I want my guy. And as a head coach, you should be able to play with what you're given and make the best out of it instead of sabotaging a season or a player, to try to prove a point. I think that's very small minded. But who am I? You're muted, Mac.
I said, no, I agree with you, and I just, the thing is about that is like you had your opportunity to get your guy a season ago. You should have went out and got him. You could have got him in the draft. I mean, I get it, but you wanted to you draft Malik Neighbors, who I'm not. Of course, you can't be upset about having a player like that on your team, but the need was so much greater at quarterback that to me it was just it's ridiculous. And you have all those good prospects that were just staring at you, and you don't take a swing on any of them. And then, like I said, and it stings even more when you watch what those guys are doing. The ones that have had the opportunity to play, which is now 5 out of the 6 guys that were drafted in that first round last year, have all played meaningful football this season for their teams. And the only reason the other guy probably didn't is because he's out for the damn year because he got injured in preseason, J.J. McCarthy. So it's just like when you watch what those guys are doing and seeing how successful they are, and then you watch even Spencer Rattler, the guy that went like in the 5th round, and it's been up and down in his times he's played this year, but it's been somewhat decent. He would have been worth a damn flyer, take a flyer on in the draft a year ago. When you watch what he's doing out there for the Saints, and then even today, Joe Milton for the Patriots. A guy like that. I mean, it was a great quarterback class. A lot of good prospects last season that came out, and I just think the New York Giants just overthought everything. And then I think what it really is even more so than just sabotaging DJ. I think it's like they wanted to almost see if they could kind of hit a lottery. Okay, you draft Malik Neighbors, and let's just see. We don't really want DJ, but maybe if it somehow flukes and works out, then we'll look like geniuses. You know what I mean? And to me, it's just you're gambling with the wrong shit, man, and it ends up blowing up completely in your face. You let Barkley walk away. He's now the rushing champ. Rushing has a rushing title, over 2,000 yards rushing. And granted, I know I'm a realist. He would not have gotten 2,000 yards behind this New York Giant offensive line, but nonetheless, he would have still been a very productive player and a part of this football team. And it just changes the whole dynamic of everything. And another thing is, if you're going to keep Daniel Jones around, if that was what you were planning, what your idea of going into this season was, why would you trade the guy that's been the best asset to Daniel Jones throughout his entire career? So it just nothing this team did. None of the decisions they made sense. Nothing they did made a whole lot of sense. And now, like here we are. We're now officially the season's over. We get to jump into the off-season stuff, and now we have to wait until September once again for more Giants football. But this is where we are, man.
If it'll even be Giants football,
You're right.
because we don't even have an identity no more.
Also,
We can't even say Giants football no more because we're not the Giants. We're something else.
that is a fact, my brother. That is definitely a fact. I don't know what this team is. It's not the same. It's not the same team I grew up with. Though you're right. This is not. This is before the Giants used to be all about that like bully ball, man. The Giants I grew up watching. Grinding it out physically. You know, out physical in people, man. I don't know what this. I don't know what this team here. I can't. You can't figure this team out here at all in any way, shape, or form. Just can't figure it out. So I don't know. I sit out here and try week in and week out to keep talking about these guys. I don't know anymore, Lou. It's hard. It's hard because it's hard to talk when there's nothing positive to say. That's probably what it's coming down to. There's never anything positive to say about this team anymore. You got to like reach for positivity. You
Bro, I
talking about
said
the
it
New
a
York
few weeks
Giants.
ago. I said it a few weeks ago. I said I can no longer make content as long as Dable is the coach. I'm making content about the other 31 teams and my boxing and my UFC.
I mean,
Because I
we're gonna
mean,
get into the
what do
off
you?
season, and I guess
I
this will
don't.
be
I
a
don't want to talk about controversy all the time. Like it's all controversy because it's all speculative. It's all rumors. It's all a bunch of bad news. It's like who wants to talk about that? There's enough bad news in the world. I don't want to be reporting on bad news on my favorite team too. It's just it's difficult.
No, I definitely feel you on that. I definitely feel you. It's like I said, we're heading to this off season, and actually, I guess it's the time to let y'all everybody know I will be coming out and be doing a stream. I'm not sure if I'm gonna start it quite this Friday or maybe the following Friday, but we'll be talking about New York Giants off season news, off season reports, just things that draft needs, free agent needs, just things the New York Giants need to do to try to maybe potentially right this ship, man. Hopefully, like I said, personally, I've said it 1,000 times how I feel. This whole thing needs to be gutted, and that includes the head coach and the GM. I can't see how people take this seriously, bringing these guys back. How anybody could take the Giants seriously. I can't see how a free agent of any ilk is going to want to put their name on a contract with the New York Giants and stand behind the fuckery that they saw this season. I just don't. I don't see how it's going to happen. I think that's going to be some of the Giants' biggest obstacles to overcome this offseason is getting people to actually want to be here. I just don't see it. How you
Yeah,
feel about that, Lou? I don't know how you feel about the
that's my
thoughts on that.
thing. I feel like these players do not respect what Dable did just with the DJ thing alone, and Shane for that matter, because Shane handles the money side, and you guys decided to bench your best option at starting QB to save money. And I think that didn't bode well with the team. I think it was made evident by their level of effort in the weeks after, and I don't think he has this locker room. So it's going to come down to some serious decision making. Coach, peace and blessings, my brother. Continue your journey to wellness, man. Can't wait to have you on the stream, brother, and just chop it up with you, man. See you face to face. Been a long time, man.
What up,
Hope you're doing
Coach?
well. But yeah, man, there's a lot of tough decisions up ahead, and I'm wondering if Shane can make them. In fact, I doubt that Shane can make them because we saw how he fumbled the DJ situation. We didn't get nothing for DJ. We didn't get nothing for Saquon. Saquon's over there breaking records for another team. Um, and McKinney's balling out for another team. These are guys that we could have at least got picks for. If nothing else, if you could work out a deal, which I believe you should on a few of them, but what's done is done. Can't cry over spilled milk. But you should have had better business sense and better communication with your players. It seems like he just treated them as commodities and not human beings, and that can be very strenuous on a relationship, a business relationship, or any relationship for that matter. You always have to factor in the human side of things, and I don't think that Shane is capable of doing that so far.
No, he does seem to be failing from the aspect. I mean, sure, he's done right by the money. He's done some, if you want to say, some positive things from the financial
He
aspect,
fixed the cap.
getting the cap straightened out. and things like that. But like you said, when it comes to more like and no, I understand this is a business and all, but you gotta understand every aspect of it. And like you said, that part of it, he seems to have failed at. I don't feel like these guys have that kind of relationship with these players where it just doesn't come off like a family type of thing. Doesn't come off of anything like it just seems
No
like it's
real
just all
camaraderie. Yeah.
strictly just do doom boom 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 business is all it's about. Like whereas it's
Even
nothing
Tom Coughlin, who was a hard
kind of had
ass,
that
said, "I love you." You know
he
what I
had to
mean?
correct
Like,
that.
yeah,
Well, he had to correct it though. Remember, he
yeah.
said I
But he
had
had
to
to listen
make
to his
some changes
players.
within myself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yep.
Because
And I
he
don't
came
think
close.
these
He actually
guys
came
listen
really
to
close.
their
That's a good
players.
point you brought. No,
But
it doesn't seem that way
you said
because
what's
clearly I said it doesn't seem that way because like when you brought up the Daniel Jones thing, and I'm not going front. I'm one of the ones that was all about I was tired. I had enough of DJ. I was tired of seeing
yeah,
him
at
as
least got
well.
something for him.
But that part, things like that, exactly. Those are the things I'm talking about. We're losing these guys and getting nothing for any of them. Like nothing. And something is always better than nothing. I mean, sure, you wasn't gonna
Facts.
get a whole lot for Daniel Jones anyway, but you something. You know what I mean? You could
Nothing
have
for
got
nothing leaves
something out of
nothing.
the deal.
Facts.
I mean,
Just
clearly
letting people walk away scot
he
free.
did. He wasn't on the open market long. How about that? He
Right.
wasn't on the open market
So
very long at all.
right.
So clearly,
And he's over there.
people had eyes on him.
And, and he's over there with a guy who just brought out the best version of Sam Darnold that we've seen in the NFL, period. So the chances of him getting some of
Absolutely.
the things that we've seen corrected while he was with us are highly probable. He when you get a guy who takes you in, pause, and says, "Look, I'm gonna put you under my wing. I'm gonna guide you. I'm gonna mentor you, and I'm gonna get you to the next level." That belief in you from somebody else helps you to believe in yourself more, makes you want to do it a little more because now you don't want to let that person down as well. You know what I mean? And it inspires you in a sense. And I believe that maybe that's what Daniel needed after all of the stuff he endured here with the coaching changes, the bad O line, the bad draft picks, the bad games, the bad performances, all of the media coverage and all of the stuff that he was reading and hearing on the news. So I believe that maybe that's what he needed. Hopefully, he rejuvenates his career and latches on somewhere else and has a decent end of his career. Because I don't dislike the guy personally. I just think it wasn't a fit. It didn't go well. And hopefully, he can rebuild his image and do well somewhere else. And we've seen it with other players. So I don't doubt that he'll have a good back half of his career somewhere else.
No, what it is he's got to get out of his head. And I'm fuck it. You know what? We ain't got nothing else better to talk. Let's talk about Daniel Jones a little bit. My Daniel Jones theory, always, and I stand by it. This motherfucker, okay, he comes out his rookie season, throws 24 touchdown passes. I mean, yeah, a lot of interceptions, a lot of turnovers. I get it, all that shit. But hear me out. He if you go back and look at the tape of his rookie season, this man was not scared to unload that ball down the field, just letting it fly, letting it absolutely fly.
And
And yeah,
Jason
it
Garrett
led to a lot
and
of
Judge,
turnovers throughout his rookie season. But then you bring in Joe Judge and then it's Jason Garrett, and then all of a sudden they just completely, I think, took all of that away from him to the point of now he feels that's the way he has to play the game, and he's never ever gotten right from that. There's ways to clean up the turnovers
yep.
without completely changing the way the kid plays the game. I mean, you got to just tell him to be smarter with the throws. You know what I mean? You got to coach that into him. But
I
as
like to
far as
equate
all that
almost.
that that
It's almost similar to RG3 in a sense. While it was different circumstances, RG3's was due to an injury, right? They tried to change him into something he wasn't because he didn't fit the style that Shanahan was playing. Okay.
I
And
got you,
then when
Miz.
he got injured, they threw him back in there too early. He got re-injured, and after that, he second guessed himself on every play after that. And I believe that it was a mental thing, and I believe the same thing happened to DJ. Joe Judge and Garrett got a hold of him, tore him down. The media tore him down, and then he never got over it mentally. The only difference was with RG3 was an injury, and with DJ it was the media and the coach. But I think it was the same thing, the mental block that they couldn't get past because of the media and the coaching.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, man. I'm about to put the link in the chat now, Miz, for you. But I think what they did was instill the fear of God in them. I think to a bit like, don't be turning the ball over. You can't make a mistake. You know what I mean, and all this other
Yeah,
dumb shit. And it just completely fucked his head up, man.
turned him
Because
into a robot
he
like
he
Pat.
just
Like
wasn't not this. He Yeah, he never was the same guy. His rookie season, like I said, yeah, it was a lot of mistakes, but he was flinging that ball all over the goddamn field, man. He ain't had no fucking fear of that. I just don't, and it just that shit just all went away. Oh shit, hold on. And that shit just went completely the fuck away, man.
but I gotta head out.
So
I'm sure Man's about to pop in and join you and hold it down. I got a lot of
yeah,
stuff to do, man.
I gotta find
Focusing
the
on
damn link again. Hold on.
these Senior Bowl picks. Uh, I'll find it.
All right, bro. I got you. I got it right here. Hold on.
There it is. I
Here
just
we
posted
go.
it in the
Here
Twitter.
we go, Miz. He wanted and he wants it in. He needs it in here. He said it's right there.
There you go. Oh, you posted it too.
But yeah. So
Shout out to
he
Deontay Wilder
is.
and other news, man. He just retired. Wish him the best in his future endeavors, man. Held it down for the heavyweight division after there was no American champion for about 15 years. He came in and reclaimed the American dominance in boxing in the heavyweight division and held it down for 5 years, man. So shout out to Deontay Wilder. Wish him the best in his future endeavors.
No doubt indeed.
Miz,
What's going on, Miz, man?
What's up, baby? That's a good win. That's what I got to say about that. That's a good
what?
win. That was a good win.
How you feel about the number 3 pick, Miz?
I feel good, better than I did 3.5 hours ago. That's for sure. So, listen, we got the third pick. I still believe with the 3, the Giants can definitely get Shador. If his father plays a little, a little game with the other teams, don't pick my son, whatever. But we'll see. Because I think he's going to play that role because I think Shador really have his heart set on going to the Giants. And if he does, I think Deion's going to tell the Browns, don't even think about it. I'm telling you. And hey, we'll see.
That'll get interesting.
Yeah, it will. You got Ward. There's a couple quarterbacks. But
They
what's
just
going to be
restructured Watson,
interesting?
so they might be looking for a stopgap quarterback in free agency more than likely. But
Well,
go
we
ahead.
need to do that right away. We can't wait till the draft. That got to happen in March right away.
No, I said Cleveland. I said they just restructured Watson's contract, so they might be looking more for like a stopgap quarterback in free agency than a draft pick.
Well, I hope so. Well, if the Browns are smart, right, they'll draft Hunter because then they'll have like the 2 best corners in the league.
Browns about to sign Sam Darnold. Watch what I tell you.
I don't think Minnesota's going to let Darnold out the building.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, they're gonna have to pay him though, and then they got JJ McCarthy. So what they're gonna do? I mean, what they
And
gonna do?
DJ. They got JJ McCarthy, DJ, and Darnold.
What could be
And they got-
interesting? What happens? Any
And they got
chance?
DJ for cheap, so they might let Darnold walk, keep DJ for a year, and let him kind of be a mentor to McCarthy and get the most out of him until McCarthy's better.
Yeah.
That's what I see
I
the
don't.
Vikings doing with DJ anyway, and letting Sam Darnold walk. I mean, he might not end up with Cleveland, but Sam Darnold's not going to be a Viking.
If Sam Darnold wins tonight and they go into the playoffs, number 1 seed in the NFC,
He
Sam
might be.
Darnold is going to command a high salary because that's all it takes these days is 1 year. 1 year of greatness gets you paid now in the NFL at the quarterback position. And Sam Darnold done laid it down this season. And he's fine. And it's the first time in his career he's been in position to negotiate for the bag. And he's going to negotiate for the bag. I'm sorry. He's going to want to get paid
And he
because he
going to
has
get
an
it.
opportunity to do so now.
He going to get it because it's the
Absolutely.
image.
I don't know if he makes a run. If he
So,
makes some type of run, the Vikings not going to be able to sell their players that they're letting him go. So because he form a good chemistry with a lot of those players right now. So we'll
I
see
mean,
what
that's
happens.
also a possibility as well. But either
Make a
way,
trade Tuesday.
Sam Darnold is going to get paid next year, whoever he's
Yep.
playing for. And it
Yeah,
So
ain't going to
guys,
be
I
the New
gotta
York
head out, man. I
Giants.
got a lot of stuff to do. I'll see you guys tonight for Sunday Night Football, man. Make sure you tap in. Miz, you gonna call
All
the
right, G
game with
Nice.
me, bro?
Yeah, I'll come on. I'll come on, Lou. You got a haircut finally? That's good.
I mean, finally, you know what?
Yeah, I'll see you tonight, Lou.
All right, brother. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Mac the Giants fan. Make sure you subscribe to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. And make sure you go subscribe to Mr. Clean down there in the bottom section of this video. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Get it. Let's get it. What do you think, Mac? What do you think, Mac, if the Giants? What do you think if Hunter falls to 3 to the Giants? Because they're gonna be stuck in a very interesting scenario. Because I was thinking that already. What if the Browns and Titans don't take Hunter? Browns, I don't know. Somebody
I'm not trying
Titan.
to think about that right now.
Well, it could
I don't want to
happen. It
see.
could
I don't want to
happen.
see that happen right now. You're right. Anything can happen in the draft.
Well,
Anything can
look,
happen. But
because if you have a Hunter at 3,
look.
and you could take Hunter at 3, and then you make a move from the second back into the first to get. It's probably not going to be the one guy you want. It's probably going to be like a Dart Jackson, or maybe Ward is left, or Milrow. Let's say Milrow. The first 2 are gone, so I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's just a thought. I know people want Shador. I know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look, I get it. And like I said, that's why you got to start looking at these other quarterbacks down the line, man. You got to start looking at these other guys. But it's to me, you're in a position to get one of the top guys at the position. I think you got to take that swing, man. You just got to, and you got to try to. I mean, I get if Tennessee and Cleveland take them both off the board, but I mean, I don't really foresee that happening. I think you got a more likely chance that Tennessee or Cleveland trades out of those picks than to
Yeah.
see them both take the 2 quarterbacks off the board with the 1 and
Right.
2 overall pick. So
No, I don't think.
it's not that Travis Hunter's not he's a hell of a player, but I just
Browns
think the
is gonna
Giants have
take.
been trying to, they got to address that QB position, man.
Yeah, Browns are most likely to either take Hunter or trade out. I think the Browns might trade out and get a bunch of picks. The problem is a team like the Raiders would come up and take a quarterback. That's the problem. So I
Exactly.
don't know. It's gonna be very. It's gonna be. I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting, man. Very interesting. But Shador Sanders, I like him. I fall in love with Dart Jackson also. I think he's a franchise NFL type of quarterback. A lot of the scouts been talking high about him too this week. Well, it's good to have like 3 options, I guess, in case. It's good to have three options in
I
case.
mean, definitely. I mean,
I know you. I know people. You want the one
that's
guy. I
definitely the
know
case.
Shador's the guy, but it's good to have two or three just in case someone takes one of these quarterbacks first ahead of us. I think going 4-3 today was big. But some people is going to paint a picture that,
Yeah.
oh, New England fell out, and that's not good because that was the one team we could trade up with. But you never know, man. You never know in the draft. You don't know what's going to happen.
Well, you gotta wait and see when these guys. Like I said, these guys start doing all their training, all the combine and pro days and all that, and then that always changes shit up. And it's always somebody in the combine that rises up out of nowhere that comes out and kind of gets on everybody's radar all of a sudden. I mean, you look at a game like with the young man, for instance, Arizona State, the kid Scatterboo had the other day. You look at a game like that. That game alone just probably raised that kid's draft status a
I
little bit
love
just
that kid.
off of that strength of that game. So I mean, it's just things
I
like
love that.
that happen in the off season process. So
Oh, she said the Titans have the number
I
one
don't
pick
know.
right
It's
now. I
just
thought it was the Browns.
yeah, they say the Titans do. Titans had number one, and then Cleveland. I guess probably a strength of schedule
That's
tiebreaker or something.
That's the exact type of guy we need, bro. We need a scabo. You need a physical bulldozer that does not have no regard for his body, man. I mean, we got to get back to being that type of Giants football team, bro.
I definitely, I'm down. I definitely agree with you. I like that. I like just the way that young man plays the game. Like he put that team on his back on New Year's Day.
Right.
Put him on his back and almost got him to the finish line. So I mean, he threw a touchdown pass. He was running for touchdowns. I mean, he was just all. He was just. That was an amazing performance. I couldn't say more good things about that. And I'm curious what kind of grade a guy like that's going to have on him. I mean, obviously, that's not going to be a primary need for the New York Giants right away. I mean,
No,
but I wouldn't mind coming out of this draft with a guy like that if they have an opportunity at the right
right.
price.
Yeah, I agree. Type of guy that could change the mentality of a team. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
he's got like the will, the physicality. Like nothing's gonna stop me. I'm never gonna give up, and that's a good thing to have for a team. But him and Tracy together would be a nice 1-2 punch. But I don't know. We got other needs first, so obviously.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's not going to be as high on the priority list right now
I
for
don't
the
know.
Giants to be worrying about addressing the running back position. But the
That's the
offensive
other thing
line,
I
I was
said this
listening to the
morning.
broadcast. I don't know.
Go ahead, man.
You said what? I
No,
was
I'm
saying I was
saying
listening to the broadcast on the game, and they said the Giants have started 10 different offensive line groups this season. 10. In one season, in 17 games, you start 10 different offensive lines in 10 games. Like that to me is
that's
there's no
horrible.
way for an O line to get better like that
Nope.
in that kind of
Nah, that's
way,
not good.
man. It's just
Not
ridiculous.
gonna work
Just
like that.
shuffling. It's like you're just shuffling cards. Just shuffling
Yeah, no
cards each week and
stability,
throwing guys out there. It seems like.
no chemistry. It's not gonna work. But and I'm not gonna lie. I said this morning in the group. I threw out there an idea that I liked. It's like, yo, if you could get a Shador Sanders early in the first round, I will not hesitate to come back in the third round if that kid Howard from Ohio State is there and take another quarterback because our quarterback room has been garbage. So I would not be opposed to two quarterbacks in this draft. And let's get a competition going and bring in a veteran, a Russell Wilson or a Wentz, some type of veteran. Obviously, you need to have a veteran in the room to teach them. But I would not be opposed to drafting two kids, Mac. It would not be a
I'm
waste.
not mad at that
Our
either.
QB room is ass.
That would work. Like I said, get draft two of them and still sign another one of the another one of them guys too. Like a Winston or somebody else, just another veteran guy to bring in. Like you said, the quarterback room is that bad. To me, there's no pieces from that quarterback room that I necessarily want to see back on this team next year. It doesn't matter. They can all go, and they don't. None of them. They can all go. Clean them
Yeah,
all out. Bring all new guys in. And
I'm
and
with that.
I'd be fine with something like that too, a scenario like that. Had the rookies push each other, had the young guys push
Yeah.
each other out there. You know what I mean? That to me is something I could definitely be all about as well, man. So I'm not mad at you with that. I saw that earlier in the group chat too, and I agree with it, man, 100%. This team is in a situation where they gotta do a lot of things different than what they've been doing, and right now, I think getting that quarterback room the right way, that's a big
Right.
start. You know what I mean? That's a big start in the right direction. Is getting that
Right.
quarterback room right, and everything else has to start to fall into place. I mean, we have probably maybe the worst depth in the league as well. I mean, we just guys get injured, like I was saying earlier. Andrew Thomas gets hurt, and then now we're going to like Joshua Zudu. How is he the next best guy? That should never be the case. Somebody like that shouldn't be the next best guy, your next best answer to plug in after a guy like Andrew Thomas goes down. I mean, I can't. And then Evan
No,
Neal was
no.
hurt again today. Apparently, he didn't play. I don't know. Still don't know what's going on with that
I
guy.
don't know if he'll be here next year. So,
But
you know what I'm saying, Mac? I don't know. I don't think Neil will
the
be here next
offensive
year.
line that's in the first couple of weeks of this season appeared to like a unit that might have been making a turn for the better, but it just fell right back apart yet again this season. Up front there, it just became once again another pitiful unit part of this football team as part of this football team.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, that's why I'm feeling so because this team has so many fucking holes, man. There's just holes everywhere. Everywhere you look on this team, there's holes, man.
I know.
Everywhere. It's just
And we got money for free
like, what the
agency, but
hell do they do?
you're not gonna fix this all in one off season. So if he is bringing them both back tomorrow, he needs to give them 3 more years. We can't be doing this year to year thing because you can't draft a QB this draft and then next year these guys are gone. You can't do that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Well, I think if you keep them here and they draft a quarterback now, I think that's almost you got to at least guarantee him at least another couple of years, pretty much at the very least. I mean, and that's like almost a guarantee at that point. But damn, I lost what I was going to say something else and I forgot. But
Well, what would you do tomorrow? Do you want them gone or would you bringing them back?
I want them gone. Once I see something that looks as bad as this looked, I can't move forward with that. I just can't. Not when it's as bad as it got this year. I just can't move forward. To me, it doesn't look like anything that I want to continue to even try to grow with because they brought the Giants all the way back down to just an infantile state, man. Like this is the lowest I've ever seen the New York Giants in all of my years. And like I said, I went through the Dave Brown years, Ray Hanley, and shit like that, and it still wasn't what I saw this season. I mean, it still wasn't anything like this.
Right.
This,
I'm sending you a picture though that I saw today that tells me a lot. Yeah, I just texted it to you. There's a picture out there on Twitter right now.
wow. Wow, that
After he
picture
shook
does say a
Sirianni's
whole lot.
hand, I wrote this on Twitter. Man has a big smile like the Grinch. So you know he threw this game. He must have told Locke.
Wow.
Either he told Locke throw that ball up in the air, or he told Kayvon go take a late shot at that guy's head. Just make sure we lose this game because it looked like it from that smile, bro. And that smile also tells me that he knows he's back. Doesn't that, Mac? Don't it look like that?
Oh man, it is. That is interesting, man. To say the least, that is
That
telling.
picture talks a lot right there.
Whew.
It's all over Twitter, bro.
That picture says a whole lot.
Right. So, plus Jay Glazer is reporting that he feels they both coming back. I think Jay Glazer knows some stuff. So I don't know. We're gonna find out tomorrow.
Wow. That is craziness. He is grinning like
No, that's a
he
great
didn't just
smile.
lose a football game.
Yeah, bro. Like he definitely drew that game because I felt the Giants was gonna come back and win that game because it looked like to me like the Eagles started laying down, and I was getting real angry.
Yeah.
Like they punted a
Well, it looked
line
like they were trying
drive.
to lose.
You saw that punt, right? It was a line drive purposely, so that we could return it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that.
I saw that. Yeah, I noticed it.
And then neighbors down the field, there's nobody within 10 or 15 yards of him. You saw that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, they were trying. They definitely looked like they were trying to lose.
Eagles was trying to give us the game, definitely. So that Kayvon hit to the quarterback head, that helped a lot. It gave them a first down, or we would have got the ball back. And then Locke threw an ill-advised throw post that floated in the air for like an hour. So listen, I'm happy it turned out how it did. So
I am too. Like I said, I was actually going to be upset if they would have fluked their way to another dumb W. And they got some big helmet. When he threw that ball downfield to Jalen Hyatt, and I was just like, "Oh my God, don't be wide open." I was just like, "Please don't be wide open." I almost just thought that he was, and then Josh was going to
no,
just
but
get a
Mac,
walk off touchdown.
I'm telling you, man, I feel strongly about this. If they would have had told Dable that he's back last week, he would have lost that game. I'm telling you, there's something to that, bro. That all of a sudden Dable called an aggressive game like that because he heard he was gonna maybe be getting fired. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking
Yeah,
about last week. All right, we see what's gonna happen, man.
we will, Miss. We definitely will, man.
It's gonna be an interesting off
I
season.
want to
I'll
put the
tell you that.
picture up on the screen.
Yeah, the off season can be more interesting than the season, which is not really where you want to be, but this is the way it is. Yeah, bro. Listen, that picture's
That's
real,
why I
man.
said the off season is like. Yeah, I'm trying to put it up real quick.
I think the whole world saw it already, but yeah, I didn't know if you saw it or not, so that's why I texted it to you. That smile right there was like,
I did not
yo,
see it.
Dave was
That
smile. He's
shit's
hot,
crazy.
bro. Yeah.
Matter of fact, here it is. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Oh, there it is. Look at that. The Brian Dayball grin. The evil grin.
Yo, this guy Dable, bro.
That is,
That's,
yeah.
that smile speaks volumes,
Picture
man.
says a lot.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Says it all. Says it all. So, yeah. Looks like a guy doesn't feel like any fear of getting fired. So, I guess we'll see. We will see what happens, man, with this football team, man. But yeah, it's been a long year, and I think I'm about done talking about them, Miz, for right
Yeah, man.
now.
Hold
I'm
out.
gonna start getting my off-season stuff together.
All
Start
right.
getting my off-season stuff together.
Okay.
I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you later. If you're gonna be on the stream with Lou and them, I'll be in the chat at least.
All right. Thanks for having me
But
on, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one on up, man.
You're good.
Thanks a lot
Do
for
your
coming
thing.
through, Miz.
Do your thing.
All right, bro. But if you guys been watching all this time, I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. It's been a fucked up year for the New York Giants, man. I'll apologize for y'all because it's just I've been, sitting here still trying to pump this team up as much as I could to y'all, man, preaching that bullshit to y'all a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's been a rough season for all us New York Giant fans, and I appreciate y'all hanging in there, and I appreciate y'all chilling with me in the chat right now through it all. This is the last edition of the True Blue Aftermath for this season, since there is no postseason football for the New York Giants, obviously. And I'd like y'all to make sure y'all sub up to myself, Mac the Giants fan, sub up to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. It's about to get real official. Off season on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network is where you want to keep it locked for all the New York Giants news and everything going on with this football team. It's going to get all broken down with the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. And I appreciate y'all coming through, man. And I'll see y'all. I'm not sure, but like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to start it this week or the following week. But coming up, I'm going to have a new show called it True Blue Off Season, and I'll be just covering all the off season news with the New York Giants live every Friday, man. So I'll keep y'all locked on that too, man. Just make sure y'all sub up, subscribe, share, and like the streams, help to keep helping the channel grow, man. Most definitely appreciate all the support. And I'll be coming at y'all, man, with some Big Blue Crew exclusive stuff, man. That show out, the one I was just talking about, that stream, the True Blue Off-Season report is going to be an exclusive to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. So you're going to have to be locked in on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network to check that one out, man. You'll only be able to find that on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. That will be a network exclusive. And it's your boy, Mac the Giants fan, man. And I'll see y'all around, brother, because I'll be around. Peace! I'd like to thank you. What the hell? I'd like to thank you all for listening. If you was feeling this, please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Mac the Giants fan. That's MACDA Giants fan.